All right. Um, you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, so name is Devontae Daniels. But as far as music is concerned, I like to go by CLE Hashtag. Um, Born and raised inside of San Antonio, and I just grew up here.
All right. And how are you, Mr. Hashtag?
I'm good. Actually, had just got back from Memphis. We were like had to go to a funeral, so I'm glad I got that out the way.
Sorry for your loss. All right. Well, if you're ready, we can just go ahead and jump into the questions.
Yes, let's jump in.
All right. So, first question. It's very, very much requested. Why did you choose your name, CLE Hashtag?
Okay, so I chose CLE Hashtag because so as growing up, my friends from elementary school, they used to say that I got a lot of people together, and they would call me a love expert. But it wasn't until like I had got like different sexualities. So there's this one time I was trying to get two guys together, which felt like the hardest thing I ever did, and they're still together. And they were like, you know what? At this point, you're like certified, so we're just gonna call you a certified love expert, and that's where CLE comes from.
Oh,
And then the
really?
hashtag came because some dumb kid, I forgot who he was, called me the little hashtag that wasn't flying. And then I was like, Sealy and then hashtag. So I just put them together. I was like, Sealy hashtag.
That's interesting. I didn't expect it. I thought it was just like, just one day came to you. That's an interesting backstory. All right, the next question, also highly, highly requested. What inspired you to make music?
Okay, so there were a bunch of reasons, but the two reasons were one, Spencer, Stussy, Young Opium, whatever he goes by, he had like started it. He was like pushing. He was like, "You should make music because you can't tease music and never drop it." And I was like, "Oh, cool. I guess I'm inspired." But the point for me actually recording and making music was just because like I felt like I was already to the point that I could freestyle like legit, and there was no problem with that. And I could write a song. I would just never recorded it. So I've been making music for a long time. I just didn't start recording until this year because I was like, well, when we're in quarantine, we got nothing better to do, and I have time on my hands, so I'm gonna record. But I was mainly making music just because I felt like music was just a big thing. I always listen to music. I love music, and like I kind of just rolled with it. There's like
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah. Well, that's really awesome. The next question: do you look up to anybody in the music industry?
As far as music, I'd say I look up to more of a melodic standpoint. Really, I kind of look up to like one person that I really look up to is Uzi. Like I listen to a lot of Uzi, and then I started listening to Lil Baby, and I started listening to him more often. And then every once in a while, I would listen to like Annalie Choppa, and then I'd go like Kendrick Lamar, and then Kanye West, J Cole, and then I would just venture off. It would be weird. But for most of my music, I feel like I mainly stuck around like Polo G and YNW Melly because that was just like the time that I was just listening to.
Yeah, yeah. Next question. I feel like it's a bit controversial, but how do you feel about other artists in the school?
Okay, so I only know a handful. I know Brandon, who goes by Zion. Spencer, who think he goes by Young Opium, I'm pretty sure. I know Jay, for sure. I don't know what he goes by. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting somebody, but I forgot. I don't know. But I know for sure those three. Brandon doesn't really make music as far as recording and releasing. He's more of a write it down and remember it for later kind of person. Spencer, I feel like he's chill. Like he has a song every now and then that goes up and then like brings it down every once in a while. Jay, he's more of a parody rapper. I never saw him as an actual like rapper, but I see him as a parody rapper. But, like his music is good, but I've never seen him as like anything besides a parody rapper from the music
All right, all right. Well, obviously you're pretty young. Do you ever see yourself going into becoming like a touring musician?
guy. Actually, I never really looked that far into it. I mean, I've had a couple like think about it, will it happen kind of moments, but it wasn't like that's my goal. It wasn't
Yeah.
ever.
All right. Well, the next question is, are the love letter songs about anybody in particular?
Okay, the first one. was about somebody, and the second one was composed of two different.
Mhm.
That's like a big question that people ask. But yeah, the first one was about somebody. She knows who she is. The second one was about the same person plus another person. That other person I haven't told.
All right. Well, I'm not going to push you on any more than that. Um, Next question. When it comes to music, what do you specifically look for?
I'd say I look for something that people can relate to. Like if they can like listen to the song and they can be like, oh, I can relate to that, then that's like a one up. I don't want to make a song that everybody's like, oh, what the heck? Like I wanted them to be able to like understand it or at least be able to jam to it. Like either of those two things. And that's like really what I look for. I say sometimes I would look for a melody. Most of the times I really don't. It's just what I go off.
All right. The next question, I feel like you kind of explained this time, but what do you want people to hear when they listen to your music?
Yeah, yeah, okay. So just like you said, maybe I would like I for sure would like people to understand what I'm saying, but also be able to see where it comes from. Like, I understand somebody can listen to a song about love, but the question is, what do they like hear about it? Like, do they hear somebody wanting to be in love, somebody trying to get into love, get out of it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. Well, the next question is, if anything could stop you from making music, what would it be?
Okay. If anything would stop me, one would be my parents, for sure. Two, I'd say if I kind of was just like venture off, like if I was like, if the music was to just die down one day, I would stop making it. Or if I said this might be a weird reason, but like if I just kind of just like lost the vibe all of a sudden, I wouldn't make music.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put that, but like if I just lost that vibe to make music, I would stop.
Well, to add on to that question, has there ever been a time where you felt like you wanted to quit music, or like you said, you lost your vibe?
Um, I remember after I had released the first album, which was CLE, I kind of just I kind of just stopped because I wanted to be like, if nobody like likes this, I don't see the purpose of really making it. And my goal of making music is for people to like hear and understand it. And I was just like looking at like the statistics and everything, like who's listening to this track, how much people listen to this. And when I got like a decent number that I wanted to reach, I was like, okay, well, at least like 100 people can listen to a song, and that's 100 people that are taking time out of their day to do so. So I'm gonna just keep going. So, yeah, there was
Okay.
a time, but I was able to get that vibe right.
Yeah. Well, the next one, the person phrased it a bit weird, but out of having a very melodic song compared to having a really hype song, which one do you prefer?
Mm-hmm. I'd say a melodic song because a hype song you can jam to, but a melodic song can get stuck inside your head for like the longest time, and like out of nowhere you could just be like it could be anywhere. You'll just start singing it because it pops in your head. Now, hype songs, I feel like they can do the same thing, but melodic has more of a pull over hype songs
Yeah.
because there are too many hype songs. And if somebody listens to a hype song, they're gonna listen to it and be like, "Huh, that's cool, that's fire, right?" They can listen to another one and it's just gonna top that. But with melodic songs, it's like you gotta just hear the melody. It's just
Yeah. Well, I also prefer melodic songs, but I mean, the next question is, what do you think people hear when they listen to your music, other than obviously having something that they can relate to?
I feel like they hear most of my life. I put most of my life behind my lyrics. So if anything that they hear that they will catch on is be like my life. Or sometimes I'll make references. Like in the next album coming, I have like a bunch of references, like different shows, movies, times, and like events. So I feel like mainly it's a lot of references.
Hmm. All right. And this is one of my questions. Do you feel like you've lived through a lot and that influences how personal your music is?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like that's big because mainly the reason why I had made the love letters is because I couldn't get over somebody. Then as I wrote it, I just started dying down when it came to feelings about that person, and I got over it. So yeah, I feel like it was mainly personal issues that caused me to write it, and then writing it got me out of that personal issue.
So do you feel like music is a sort of outlet for you?
Yeah, basically.
All right. All right. Well, those are pretty much all the questions that were requested. Do you have anything else to say?
Um, I'd say just be ready for the next album.
All right. All right. Well, it was nice interviewing you. Um, be sure to check out Dat Kid Malik, or CLE Hashtag, as he likes to go by. On SoundCloud, I believe, is what you stream on, correct?
I'm also streaming on like Spotify and YouTube now.
All right. Awesome. Be sure to check those out. That's it.